Welcome to the Big Bang Theory. Astronomers believe that the universe is approximately 13.7 billion years old. In the very beginning, the universe was inside a bubble that was thousands of times smaller than a pinhead. It was hotter and more dense than anything known today.
Within a second of the universe beginning, energy changed into particles of matter and antimatter. Because these particles are opposite, they began to destroy each other. Only some matter particles survived. As the universe got colder, protons and neutrons began to form. Within the next 3 minutes of the universe's existence, its temperature dropped below 1 billion degrees. The temperature was now so cold that protons and neutrons began to come together, which formed hydrogen and helium.
Edwin Hubble, Theory of the Big Bang. Edwin Hubble was an astrologist who revolutionized the field of astrophysics. He was born on the 20th of November, 1889, and died in 1953. It was only at the start of the 20th century that Edwin Hubble had shown that there were more than one galaxy. The universe contains plenty more galaxies. Through his observations using the 2.5-meter telescope at Mount Wilson in California, Hubble stated that most of the nebulas were not in the Milky Way. They were outside of it. He showed that our galaxy was merely one among millions scattered throughout space, and with distances of 30 times greater than galaxies themselves. In 1929, Hubble had discovered that the galaxies within and outside of our Milky Way are moving away from us. The further away a galaxy is, the faster it travels. Galaxies 135 million light-years distant are moving 20,000 kilometers per hour. George Lemaitre, father of the Big Bang. George Lemaitre was born in July 1894 and died June 1966. He was a Belgian priest, astronomer, and professor in physics. In 1931, Lemaitre suggested that the universe's origin was a cosmic egg that exploded, which created an expanding universe. This was one of the first theories of the Big Bang. Lemaitre marked the birth of the theory of the Big Bang. He was considered to be one of the most important people in the world. George Gamow, Mathematical Understanding of the Big Bang. George Gamow was born in 1904 and died in 1968. He was a physicist and cosmologist. Gamow was a mathematician who formulated a mathematical understanding of the Big Bang and calculated how portions of hydrogen and helium came upon into the universe. These two gases make up 99% of any visible material in the universe. He outlined that these two gases today could be produced in the Big Bang. The life cycle of a star. The evolution of a star begins with its formation in a nebula. A nebula is a cloud in space made up of dust and gas. If the mass of a nebula is great enough, its own gravity will make it collapse on itself. As this process commences, the center becomes more dense and hotter. The particles that the dust and gas are made of come together and start to fuse. This is the energy source of a star. It then switches on and begins to shine. Inside every star, hydrogen atoms are fused together to make helium, a process which is called fusion. This is what creates the energy to power every star. What happens to the star throughout its lifetime depends on how big it is at birth. Gravity wants to make the star collapse on itself, but pressure pushes outwards from the center of the star, which has been produced in fusion reactions. At some point in the star's life, each star is individual. The hydrogen runs out and the core of the star will begin to collapse on itself. It gets denser and hotter until helium atoms can be used as a fuel for the fusion. The helium atoms come together to make carbon. As the star fuses helium, it creates more energy which allows outer layers of the star to expand. As these layers expand, the star begins to lose hold of its outer atmosphere. The outer layers will then drift away, and all that is left is the core. The final stages of the star's life are now all that is left. A white dwarf star, which is the dead remnants of the core. The Milky Way is about 100,000 light years across and is a barred spiral galaxy, which means it has a bar across the center of the spiral. The Orion arm contains the Sun and the Solar System, and it is located between two major arms called Perseus and Sagittarius. Spiral galaxies make up of 2/3 of the galaxies in the universe. The Milky Way has a greater mass than the Andromeda galaxy. Earth is 26 light years away from the Milky Way and is in the direction of Sagittarius, and the oldest known stars in the Milky Way are known to be 13 million years old. The closest large galaxy to the Milky Way is the Andromeda galaxy, and it is 260,000 light years in diameter, and the mass is 400 billion solar masses. It is a spiral galaxy that is only 2.5 million light years away from the Milky Way. This galaxy has 1 trillion stars and is so greater than the Milky Way. Astronomers use the Andromeda galaxy to make assumptions about the Milky Way, which is considered to be the largest galaxy. The Earth and the Moon. The Earth and the Moon is also known as our solar system. Earth's solar day is 24 hours, but it approximately takes 23 hours and 56 minutes to rotate around once. It takes a year for Earth to orbit the Sun once at an approximate distance of 93 miles. Earth is currently the only planet known to contain living organisms and up to 70% of water. Neither planet is known to carry such abundance of water, and since water is such an essential equipment to live, Earth carries properties designed for living. Earth also has a protective ozone layer that blocks harsh UVR, ultraviolet radiation, that could possibly damage the skin tissues. This is also a design feature. Earth sits on a 23.4 degrees tilt, which causes seasons to occur. When the North or South Pole tilts towards the Sun, the hemisphere will experience warm weather and longer days. And when it rotates away from the Sun, on the opposite end, the weather becomes cooler and there will be less light, more likely less than 12 hours. The way Earth tilts also plays a part of how it was designed for living organisms to survive on this planet. The Moon is a natural large satellite for Earth. It aids Earth by inducing tides for oceans, and the tides help to clean the shores. It also helps to produce light at night, and the Moon is far brighter than any regular nighttime. The Moon has no substantial atmosphere, and the temperature can exceed over 200 Fahrenheit, approximately 93.33 recurring Celsius, during the day, and drop below negative 280 Fahrenheit, approximately negative 173.33 recurring Celsius at night. It rotates slowly and takes 27.3 days to make a full rotation. What makes the Moon unique is when the eclipse occurs. It is the only moon that precisely covers the Sun at a specific time of the year.
There are many theories of how humans came to be. For example, God created all life.
Humans rose from the apes. A theory suggested that we all came from Africa, But here's another theory that may surprise you. Dr. Ella Silver, a US ecologist, has claimed that humans are not from Earth.
But were put on the planet by aliens tens of thousands of years ago. In Dr. Silver's book, he mentions a number of psychological features which he believes to prove that humans did not originally begin on Earth.
These theories range from back pain to a sunburn to childbirth, all of which Dr. Silver believes are reasons to why we humans are from outer space. The reasons humans get bad backs is because we evolved in a world with lower gravity. Dr. Silver says mankind is supposedly the most highly developed species on the planet. Yet humans are surprisingly unsuited and ill-equipped for Earth's environment, harmed by sunlight. A strong dislike for naturally occurring foods, ridiculously high rates of chronic diseases and more.
Thank you for watching.